Hey, so this is Mark, and this is episode 2, and this is what I've titled Buying the Bike. So this is what I want to do is talk about the experience of buying the bike and what you will go through. As of right now, there's only 2 ways to buy the bike, and that's either online or by going to one of the showrooms that Peloton has. And Peloton has 20 such showrooms spread throughout the United States, mostly in large metropolitan areas. The closest one to me is about 4.5 hours away in Atlanta. I've never been to one. However, from what I've understood is that you can actually I've seen pictures of plenty of them, but you can actually go to a Peloton showroom and you can actually ride the bike. You can take a class, ride the bike, sweat, drip all over the place. I believe they actually encourage that kind of thing. So that's the one way to do it. Now, Peloton does not, from my experience and what I've researched, Peloton does not run specials on the bike that you would expect or you can kind of hope for. The only thing they do is, like this year, what they did at Thanksgiving time is they started running a buy the bike for the normal price, and we'll give you $229 worth of accessories. And by accessories, you get the shoes, headphones, weights, and one other thing, heart rate monitor that Peloton has. And that's a $229 value. Now, that'll probably be over by Christmas. So that's really about the only thing that they've done. They don't discount the bike. Their profit margin on the bike is supposedly very, very low. They make their money based upon the $39 subscription, the monthly subscription. Now, the bike itself costs $1,995. And if you buy that the first year, that's the price you pay, plus you have your $39 a month for the annual subscription. You have to have that for the first year. But really, without the subscription, bikes, I don't know, to me it'd be virtually useless. But they do offer financing, and by financing is if you finance it for a year, you'll pay an extra $468, so that brings the price up to like $24.58 or something like that. I ran the numbers, and that's actually a 40% interest rate that you'd be paying. So it's a good deal for Peloton. But anyway, monthly expense, it would be $205 a month plus the monthly fee. There's also a 2-year plan that would make a monthly rate of $122 plus the $39 subscription fee. All 3 options have also a $220 delivery service charge that you're going to pay regardless. So when you buy your bike, if you are close to a local showroom or the mothership in New York City, Peloton actually has a van that they'll come out and actually assemble the bike, place it where you want in your house. If you are in a place like North Alabama with me, they use a different kind of distribution service. They use, I guess, kind of the people that do the white glove furniture delivery kind of service. They don't have experience really assembling these bikes, other than if you're in an area that has 10 bikes or something like that. I've had 2 friends in this area buy the bikes, and they didn't have a bad experience. They just had to coordinate when they were going to show up, because somebody had to be there to tell them where to put the bike and everything. So that's to me, that's probably the one weakness in Peloton's business model, is they don't have a real good distribution service. But apparently it's not too hard to learn, assemble, because there's not a whole lot that they really have to do. I think the installation probably takes 30 minutes to an hour to do. So anyway, there's also the option of the service, the warranty. When you buy your bike, you get 1 year. Your first year is free. If you want to extend it a second year, it's $175. And the 3rd year costs an additional $50 after that. So that's always an option. Now, my bike was built and sold in 2014, so my bike's 2 years old. right now, and I have had a little bit of an issue. I had to have the bearings replaced. It's kind of cool. I videoed it with the audio, sent it into Peloton, talked to their service guy, and he's like, yeah, we think that's the bearings. And they sent me the bearings, and it was $110 for the bearings. And they said, okay, we can actually schedule service to come out, or you can do it yourself. And I was like, well, I'm kind of handy, I can do this. And they actually had a video, showed exactly what I needed to do. So I had everything that I really needed. So I paid $110 and was able to fix my bike. Now, when it comes to accessories, there's 2 accessories that are a must. You can't do it without it. The first one you can't see my setup is a bike mat. You have to have a bike mat simply because you're going to be sweating. And if you're like me, you're going to be dripping sweat. And if you take an hour-long class, I don't know how anybody can not sweat on this thing. My wife and I both sweat enough. So you have to have a bike to protect your floor. And now the floor itself, I have mine on a hardwood floor. I would suggest if you're going to do it on carpet, you might be able to get away with doing, if you have Berber carpet, putting it on there with a bike mat. That might be sturdy enough. But the big thing is that when you come up out of the saddle, you need to have a stable platform. And if the carpet has too big of a pad underneath it, it's just not going to be sturdy enough, I don't think. So you might want to think about getting a piece of plywood that has the same dimensions as the bike pad. Now, Peloton sells the bike mat, and they have one for $59. There's nothing special about Peloton's bike mat. I went on Amazon before this video. You can buy one for $25 to $30. There's really nothing differentiating between the bike mats. Now, the second piece of equipment you got to have are the shoes. So the Peloton, the pedals on the Peloton are clips, and they use the Look Delta clip on your shoe. Now, this is the Peloton shoe, and I actually have a pair of CD shoes as well, and I bought the Delta clips for it and put it on. And but I actually, when I got to ride the bike in New York City, I got, I rented their shoes or got their shoes with the bike, and I really like their shoes, so I actually went ahead and bought this. The good news is they actually offer this in black now, which is much better than white. But the Look Delta clip is probably in the 90s technology kind of thing, but now most road bikes people use the Speed Play cleat, but and you can certainly, you have that option on your bike to change to your Speed Play pedals if you'd like to. But the difference in the Speed Play and Look Delta is that from a weight standpoint, the Speed Play is lighter. But on a Peloton bike, you don't care about weight because this thing weighs 125 pounds, and you don't care about a couple of grams that you're saving based upon your cleat and your pedal. So that's not an issue. So those are the 2 accessories you have to have. There's a couple of other accessories that are totally optional, and it's just up to you. First is the Peloton weights. The Peloton weights come in 1, 2, and 3 pound varieties. They fit on the back of the seat, there's some classes that you take that actually use weights and call it in. I don't get much out of 3 pounds, but I've actually done it a couple times. You get a good workout, but it's not a real like resistance weight, like you're bumping 30 pounds or anything like that. But most classes, like 45-minute class with arms, will have 5 minutes of arms in it and get a little burn. The second piece of optional is the heart rate monitor. Peloton does sell one. If you have a Fitbit, Garmin, Movo, any of those kind of heart rate straps, those are probably going to work with your Peloton screen here. There's actually a section on the screen that actually shows your heart rate. And I recommend getting a heart rate monitor. You don't necessarily, you just really need the strap. You don't necessarily need a watch or a fitness tracker unless that's just what you're into. You can actually just buy from Garmin, you can just buy the strap and it will interface with the Peloton bike. So I like doing heart rate training, and there's actually a specific, Peloton just pushed this, even though Coach Steve Little's been doing heart rate training for at least the 6 months I've been paying attention. But they've actually got a track now where some of the other coaches are actually doing heart rate based training, and that's how I always did my running and everything. So I've really started enjoying that. The other thing that is optional that is really helpful is headphones. I use you can actually hardwire into the monitor. The monitor does have speakers, so the headphones are totally optional, just depending about where you have it set. You can do either wired headphones or you can do wireless. I have Jaybird X2s that I use because the monitor uses Bluetooth, and it works out well because I'm actually able to do a class at 5 in the morning with my wife 15 feet away, sleeping away, and the bike is quiet. Oh, by the way, I mean, my breathing is louder than the bike is. So that's something else that's just a big, huge plus that I really enjoy. Let me just check my notes. Okay, the other two little things, and that's really the optional things. Now there's some other things that you can do to customize your bike seat. The bike seat here, bike seats on a road bike or mountain bike are totally whatever the user likes. So if you end up riding this and don't like it, you can change it out to something more comfortable for you yourself. In line with the bike seat are biking pants. I don't need biking pants, shorts that have a chamois or extra padding in there. I'm able to, in fact, there's been plenty of times where I've rolled out of bed 5 minutes and been on the bike. All right, not sure why that ended, but I'll have to hopefully splice that a bit together, and that'll be my first effort that I have to do with, I guess, Final Cut Pro, is to splice this together because my camera stopped for some reason. So, but anyway, that was really all I had to do, all I had to say about this. But hopefully in the next video, I'm actually going to get into actually showing you some things about this bike. Oh, this is my heart rate strap that I have. It's just a Garmin. I have got different versions of the Garmin heart rate strap. All of them have worked with this. So anyway, that's all. Hopefully we'll see you next time.